Going back to the question where we initially started, on a planet Earth full of raw chemical materials, how the necessary ingredients consistently came together in a workable way for life to originate. What accident of nature led to the first tiny glimmer of the living cell to originate and have so much of intelligence in it? Let's investigate this further. Using basic mathematics of probability, for a simple, fully functioning living cell to be created, it is estimated that at least 150 types of amino acids are needed to synthesize necessary protein molecules. Researchers have calculated that the probability of self-assembling a small single protein through a blind chemical reaction with 150 types of amino acid from the primordial soup was 1 chance in the 10 to the power of 164. That is one correctly sequenced protein chain for every 100 million trillion 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 atoms. The question now is, how long would it take for such a random sequencing to complete with right protein folding for a known simplest protein to be created? As per the current known method of determining the age of planetary objects, we now know our Earth is 4.6 billion years old. With a self-assembly rate of 150 amino acid chain at 1 chain per second, a successful protein chain creation will be far longer than the expected age of the Earth formation. To visualize this madness of randomness, imagine an astronaut goes 1 million miles away in space. The astronaut randomly fires a laser in any direction and he happens to hit a particular person on the end part of a particular strand of hair. Now the chances of DNA formation are as if the astronaut hit the same person on the same strand of hair randomly 10 times in a row, all from a million miles in space. Assuming that we accept this randomness, we still have few more open questions which remain unanswered. Imagine for the first cell to originate, it needs many different proteins to form units such as nucleus, cell membrane, ribosome, etc. How could all ingredients came together in the same place at the same time for the first cell to form? Even in the book Origin of Species by Charles Darwin, published in 1859, it clearly mentions that all organic beings that lived on Earth could be descendant from some primordial form. But there is no clear explanation of how the first form of life originated. Francis Crick, who was awarded the Nobel Prize for discovery of DNA, quoted that an honest man, armed with all the knowledge available to us now, could only state that in some sense the origin of life appeared at the moment to be almost a miracle. I'm completely baffled on how to explain the origin of life without an intelligent factor that could have influenced the creation of life we know.